Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at, well, just a combination of Broly and Broly. Now, it's not maybe, a cup of tea for everyone, but I wanted to see just how good the Broly and Broly really mesh together as units. Now, the thing is, I understand. People don't like the Int Broly. They wanted the ZZA to be better. I get it. Me personally, I think they should have made the second damage reduction the same as the first. So they should have made the 26%, 26%, and then 26% against Goku. That would have given them like 8% more damage reduction after Super. But I think what people are struggling with is fundamentally the issue that Broly's kit has, which is that his damage reductions all kick on Super. And what this means is that because Broly doesn't have guard, and because he's not stacking defense at an astronomical rate, the fact that bosses now do 1 million, 1.2 million AoE normals like Gogeta, which is the common one that everyone kind of shows him in, because they do that, he gets hit really hard by some of those AoEs. And fundamentally, that's just a limitation on Broly, unfortunately. But it's part of his kit. It's kind of how it was a big problem when he first came out. Like, all of that damage reduction occurs the moment he throws his super attack. The problem is what if he doesn't throw his super attack? So it's not a huge issue for me, but it's something I think people are discovering more, or again, because you're using him again, basically, to cut a long story short. Now, I do think Broly is pretty good, and I think he's really, really solid. Yeah, I think overall he's a really, really good unit. I think at the same time, I think he is obviously, very much intended to take on superclass enemies. Nowadays with Blue Zone being more of a thing, I think that's way better for him. TEQ Broly is absolutely homicidally insane as a unit. So for me, TEQ Broly can cover up a lot for any flaws that Int Broly has. They share 5 links, really good, nice 5 links as well. Super Saiyan, prepared for battle, fierce battle, and Berserker, and Saiyan Warrior Race. They don't share Saiyan lineage, which is a bit of a shame. And they don't share Hardened Grudge. Now, Hardened Grudge is not such a big deal. It's only 2 key and 10% attack. We don't need that for them. But Broly, like Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, having Saiyan lineage instead of shocking speed, does reduce 2 key for TEQ Broly. And TEQ Broly does sometimes need that key. Even with his active proc, if he's not facing a pure Saiyan's enemy, he does sometimes need that key. But overall, I think they make a really fun pairing. I don't really have any major issues with either of them, to be honest with you. Especially not TEQ Broly. I mean, that for sure. I definitely don't have an issue with him. I think they make a very fun pairing. The damage output that Int Broly can do is very, very high. It's very, very good. The damage that TEQ Broly can do is obviously insane. TEQ Broly being incredibly tanky does help out a lot. And I think for me, Int Broly is also very, very good. Now, obviously, damage-wise, he isn't like an active skill damage kind of guy. So, his big damage, those 23, 24, 25 million multiple super attacks, those are based on the turn he has his active skill, because it's such a big buff for him. Obviously, you want to save that a little bit. But for me right now, having tried them in quite a few events, Cell Max, this event, not really picking up a major issue. Yes, of course, I've taken a lot of damage to an AoE attack. I've also killed the boss pretty much in one go. It's kind of like a trade-off for me. I think he's great for the team. Turles really helps out here as well, because he's another planetary destruction unit, so that gives Turles some more damage reduction, which Turles needs on this team. because it's AGL Broly, it's not Planetary Destruction. I'm interested to see what they do with the next Broly, and I'm interested to see what they do with the TEQ LR. The Int one, unfortunately, much like Int Kid Goku, I think, does not fully function as a replacement for not having TEQ Broly. So I think a lot of people were hoping like, hey, I didn't get TEQ LR Broly, but I really want to like kind of run a substitute. Int Broly is not a substitution for TEQ Broly. He is more a foil for TEQ Broly. It's so that you can essentially run 2 TEQ Brolys, an AGL Broly, and an Int Broly, and you have a really good time. I mean, I'm having a really good time with it. I know that a lot of people are complaining, but I'm having a fantastic time with it. So yeah, that's kind of the functionality of it. Really, there's not like a lot behind that. I think for me as a rotation, I don't know the maths behind it, but they have to be one of the hardest hitting rotations in the game, with guaranteed crits, the active skill. So yeah, I mean, I'm incinerating bosses with them, so that's it from me.